guys, Brian Ralston from SCOREcastonline.com. This is Andrew Keresztes from LA Scoring Strings.
Hey guys, coming out this year, well, right now, very soon is the Sordino legato component of LA Scoring Strings. We already have Sordino divisis in LA Scoring Strings, but they don't have legato, portamento, and glissando transitions. So now what we've done is we've taken the time to implement our legato, portamento, glissando samples of those Sordinos into the Sordino patches, and you'll have these wonderful silky strings that sound like this as I turn on the DVC. They go all the way up to here, so. And same thing with violas. And by the way, what you're hearing now when I'm playing these chords is our auto divisi script in action. Our auto divisi script takes these chords and intelligently assigns the top voice to the first group of players, second, and then the second voice, the second group of players, the third group of players. So it does that while maintaining the polyphonic legato. So you get the legato sound, and it retains your voice leading. And all I'm doing when I do that is I press down on the pedal down here, and so it's kind of like magic. You just play a note, play a chord. So those are the violas.
Now you're doing two faders over there. Are they both one's expression and one's...
Yeah, it's just force of habit because I've been doing it for like 80 million years. I always have my I never use mod wheel. I mean, this is my mod wheel. So this is my mod wheel, and this is CC11, which is expression. I could do it very well without it. Just. But I'm just in that habit, so it's just, I just do it. Same thing with cellos. So. And this is the only library that is a Sordino divisi library that has legato, portamento, glissando, and with of course the auto divisi script and the auto arranging script.
This is Sebastian Katz. He's kind of Andrew's right-hand man right now. What we're trying to do here is use some of the features of Contact 4 multi-scripting to simplify the process for our users to get started with the library. In addition to that, build some power tools for power users to get things programmed faster to their liking. We have two of those to demonstrate today. There's a lot of other features that we're building behind the scenes. The first one is kind of an exciting one. It's called Staging Color. It does two things primarily. One is stage positioning in 3D space. This violin here, representative of currently whatever MIDI channels we have selected. I'll select them all. Sort of a standard left-right horizontal pan. In addition to that, there's a width control of the stereo spectrum without obviously any concern for phasing or anything like that. This is the control that's much more interesting, it's depth. So when it's all the way to the front, it's pretty much the sound out of the box as you would expect it. As you start to move it back, it does a lot of acoustical tricks that you would expect in a real-world space. It attenuates certain frequencies, it enhances certain frequencies. It also does left-right panning with delay effect, you know, depending on where the sound is in the spectrum, your ears hear them at slightly different times, things like that. So that component of it is the stage, and let me play a little example for you.
Oh, you're on the folder track.
Thank you. So if I hold that, I can now freely move this guy in space. Again, pretty standard left-right pan. If I turn my width all the way down, you basically will have a mono signal. But this is where it gets a little more interesting. And if you listen, you'll hear that the top-end frequencies especially start to dissolve a little bit into the backdrop. So
Algorithmic algorithm that does air attenuation of the frequencies.
Okay. Right, there's air absorption, there's frequency attenuation, there's a whole lot of things going on. But the bottom line is, for a user, they move the knob, and it should be an easy thing. And again, this is controlling whatever channels I have specified. So if I only did channel 1, that would be the case. Only channel 2, that would be the case. If you want to have slight deviations in settings between your sections. Also, bear with us, this is a preliminary GUI. This should be a lot more hip when it's done. We'll have some nice graphics, and you'll be able to see where your instruments are on the stage, things like that. So, in addition to that, there's this coloration control. And this is also kind of an exciting thing. What we've been able to do is find a process by which we can grab sort of the timbral characteristics of recorded audio, in this case film scores, and imprint them onto our strings using impulse responses. So for this example, we're listening to the Sordino violins. We created an IR based on Thomas Newman's Road to Perdition score, which is just a lovely, lush score, and you can dial that in. So besides, next to width, we have the dry control of the sound, we have the colored timbral impulse, and then we also, for good measure, we have another reverb, which is pretty much just tail, because we don't want to add too much additional stage beyond what we're already doing. So I'm going to pull the reverb all the way down for the time being, just so that we can hear the coloration. So that's, again, dry sound. Now as I add the color, you'll hear certain frequencies. To A and B it, here is without. So you can hear certain frequencies come out more. It's a lot quicker way to get to a sound that's a little bit richer. And then in addition to that, you can stick a little bit of IR reverb tail onto that. So again, for a user who doesn't necessarily have a signal path already, a workflow, it's just a really quick way to get up and running. The intention is to have a bunch of really fun presets. Like you should be able to dial in a nice, dry John Williams classical orchestral sound, or you should be able to dial in a James Newton Howard lush, beautiful sound. And with the Sordinos, we'll be able to do half and half sections half Sordino, half regular violin arco. So there'll be a lot of possibilities there, and we'll give users some nice quick presets. So that's the part that's really geared towards users who don't necessarily have this working for themselves. The guys who don't know, how do I do this with IRs, and how do I do this with synthetic reverbs, just out of the box sounds good. We want to have our users feel that way, that they don't need to do any other processing. The second part of this to demonstrate is really for everyone, but for the power users to do things a lot faster. A good example of it is the Auto Rhythm tool. Now this is a great tool for creating fast, repetitive rhythms as it stands right now. Again, if you hold the sustain pedal and you hold a note, you start to get those nice rhythms. It's one thing to play, it's another thing to go. We're not all master keyboardists. So that tool was something Andrew developed, which was really a great tool that a lot of people are using, even more so than we ever thought. Really using. But the pain about it is you've got a Divisi library. So what if you want to program your own rhythm? If I go in here, here's my cello's spiccato first chair, program my rhythm in. Now, do I have to program that exact same thing into A, B, and C? The only way around that right now was to save the whole script and reload it in the other patches. It wasn't great. Thankfully, Native Instruments has created some nice new features in this realm, and we've also done this, which is exactly what you would think. This is remote control for art rhythms, and as I start to adjust these, you'll start to see all the rhythms adjust simultaneously. Everything that's down here is mirrored up here as well. So if I want tempo times 2, if I activate it here, you'll see it activate down there. The sequence length itself, the number of notes, things like that. You can save to the presets directly from here, and additionally, thanks to Contact 4.2, which is currently in public beta, you can also save and load your rhythm presets to disk, meaning cross-platform compatible, meaning you can send them to your friends and have an auto rhythm tool party, whatever you want to do.
Where can people go to read more about it eventually when you're ready to launch?
It will be, more details should be on audiobro.com. We're going to be doing some nice video tutorials. We're also going to have a YouTube channel pretty soon where we'll have all our videos accessible. And, you know, this will be in the 1.6 update. We're at 1.5 right now, so the next looming update, this, you know, as many of these things as we can get in,